graph equation 1, I'm going to put it in slope-intercept form. In other words, I'm going to put it in y equals mx plus b form. To graph equation 2, I'm going to determine the x and y intercepts of the graph. So let's consider equation 1. 5x plus y equals 5. So I want to put it in y equals mx plus b form. In other words, I want y by itself on the left-hand side. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 5x from the left-hand side. But if I subtract 5x from the left-hand side, I must also subtract 5x from the right-hand side. 5x minus 5x is 0, so I'll have 0 plus y on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, I'm going to rearrange this. Instead of writing 5 minus 5x, I'm going to write this as negative 5x plus 5. 0 plus y is y, and on the right-hand side, I've got negative 5x plus 5. So I've rearranged equation 1. It's now in y equals mx plus b form. The y-intercept is 5, and the slope is negative 5. Let's consider equation 2. X plus y equals negative 3. So I've got to determine the x and y intercepts of the graph. To do that, I've got to let x equal 0 and solve for y. In other words, determine the y-intercept of the graph for equation 2. Then I'm going to let y equals 0, and I'm going to solve for x. In other words, I'm going to determine the x-intercept of the graph for equation 2. So if I let x equals 0 in this equation, I'll get 0 plus y equals negative 3. 0 plus y is y, so I just get y equals negative 3. So this is the y-intercept. If I let y equals 0 in this equation, I get x plus 0 equals negative 3. X plus 0 is x, so I get x equals negative 3. So this will be the x-intercept. Let's graph the two equations. Equation 1 has a y-intercept of 5 and a slope of negative 5. Now recall, slope is rise over run. So a slope of negative 5, I could consider that as negative 5 over 1. So let's graph this equation. It has a y-intercept of 5. So that's where the graph for equation 1 is going to cross the y-axis. Now to get another point that satisfies equation 1, I've got to use the slope. So I'm going to rise negative 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to run 1, 1. So there's another point that satisfies equation number 1. Let's draw a line through those 2 points. So there's the graph for equation number 1. Now let's plot the x and y intercepts for the graph associated with equation 2. So the y-intercept is y equals negative 3. So this is where the graph of the second equation is going to cross the y-axis. I'm going to plot x equals negative 3. This is where the graph for equation number 2 is going to cross the x-axis. So now that I've got those 2 points, let's draw a line through them. So there's the graph for equation number 2. Now the solution to the linear system is where these 2 lines are intersecting. They appear to be intersecting right here. X is 2, y is negative 5. So the solution to the system appears to be x is 2, y is negative 5.